Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be planting broccoli rabe in the garden and also showing you how I start broccoli rabe seeds indoors. But first things first, we are going to start this from seed. What you're going to need is a Sharpie marker. You're also going to need a cup with some soil inside of it. Make sure that you poke holes at the bottom of the cup. Also, you're going to need your broccoli rabe seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and read the instructions and show you how my method differs from the instructions. It says start indoors in a warm, well-lit area around 8 weeks before planting outdoors. Sow 1/4 inch deep into individual containers and keep moist. Well, the way I do it, I just use one single cup and then I use about 10 to 20 seeds and plant them all together. Once they are growing to the point where they have their first true leaves, I then separate them and put them into a bigger container. This is just an example of what they look like when they are put into a larger vessel after they've grown their first sprouts. Then once you've let your sprouts grow within those 8 weeks, they will look like this and they will be ready to plant out into the garden. I have 2 little helpers here with me today, my 2 youngest kids, and they will be helping me plant these out. So I'd like to talk a little bit about my process. So I know I have a ton of weeds here. What I typically do to not get overwhelmed is I weed a section at a time and I plant immediately and then mulch afterwards. What this actually does is it encourages me to keep on gardening. So if I were to take an entire day to weed out the garden, I would be too tired to plant anything. So what I do is I do a section at a time and I plant immediately. So I have reward at the end of my job. And what happens is when I'm doing this little by little, my entire bed is done in no time. Uh, Without having this sense of drudgery of getting one big thing done and then getting so tired I don't even want to come back to the garden for a couple of days. Okay, let's circle back to these seedlings. So these seedlings, I actually have them in my seedling bales. These were leggy and they look like they were so spent, but they're actually doing so well and thriving. So I'm really excited to get these going. Let's talk a little bit about how these grow. We are planting these around 6 to 8 inches apart, and they grow like leafy greens of any sort. They grow like leafy greens, and they also have these really thin stalks that grow in little broccoli florets. So once these are fully grown, you can harvest the main stalks that are the thickest and also the outer leaves, and they make wonderful salads. They make wonderful side dishes. I highly recommend that you plant them out this spring and also in the fall. Okay, the last few things I wanted to go ahead and touch on were insects that love broccoli rabe. Here is a cutworm that I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. But as you are gardening, just take away any insects that you see around your plants, be it slugs, cutworms, other things that you might notice that might decimate your plants. Also, butterflies and moths love to lay their eggs on the underside of the leaves. So if you see any of those, I would hand pick them off. Also, you can use a row cover to protect your. Now that we are done mulching this bed, I just wanted to go ahead and show you the section that I work on. So I keep cardboard boxes all over my garden because we use them to sit on. So it looks like a gigantic mess. Trust me, these will be done little by little and they will look just as beautiful as any other garden bed. So stick with me as we deal with the process. So as we were gardening, I noticed that we already had some pests in the garden. And I'd love to get ahead of these before the pest pressure starts getting really bad. So I'm going to go ahead and plant some onions inside of this garden. I'm just going to plant them in bulk here. And then once they start growing into seedlings, I'm going to go ahead and separate them and interplant them with the broccoli rabe. So that way I could deter pests from getting really bad during or temperatures. So as we were gardening, I noticed that we had pests going on already. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is plant some onions from seed, and I'm going to do it in bulk. Once they grow into seedling forms, I'm going to go ahead and separate them and interplant them with the Rabe in hopes of keeping away as many pests as possible this year. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and bring this to an end. But if you enjoy content like this, please give me a like and also consider subscribing. I would enjoy having you as a part of this community. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.